Well, I'm an East Bay person because I went to UC Berkeley for PhD.
Wow. Okay. PhD.
Yeah,
You have a PhD, huh? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. A PhD in what?
Cell and molecular biology.
Oh my goodness, that's like always in the lab.
Well,
Cell,
that's where I started,
You
right?
started there? Wow, that's good. I didn't even know. Dr. Lynn. Wow,
Right.
there you go. I didn't even know
Right.
that's fancy. So,
So obviously, you know, East Bay has a special meaning for me, and I really just lived in Berkeley after I graduated, did my postdoc, and then many years later, my parents, who lived in China, they were getting a little older, and so it's more important for them to live closer to us.
yes.
So I got them green card, but then they have their home in Shanghai.
Okay.
You know, and for elderly people, it's really not easy to go to a brand new country and then live in a rental that they don't feel at home.
Okay.
So I decided I'm gonna buy them a place
Yes.
just for them to have their own place.
Right.
Close to me.
Okay.
But Berkeley, especially where I live, is not as easy to access all the Chinese things.
Okay.
You know, my parents
Oh
would
wow.
need.
Okay.
So I decided Oakland would be a better choice. It's still very close to me,
Right.
but then Oakland offers access to Chinatown
Okay.
in Oakland.
Right.
So I started looking, and there was this new development called 8 Orchid, and it was just being finished, the building. And I really like the building. You know, it's not just the simplest bare apartment building,
Right.
but it has a nice design to it, kind of east-west,
Okay.
and it's at the very border of the Oakland Chinatown. So my mom could just walk downstairs and get grocery shopping.
Right.
But then it's not in the middle of it,
Yes.
so that it's too noisy or too, you know, because they're at the edge of it. So along Broadway, 7th and Broadway.
Right.
And then my dad, who loves ocean, like there's one thing besides being a scholar, lifetime learner,
Yes.
famous doctor, one thing he likes more than studying and doing research is ocean.
Wow. No
So
wonder.
that location is walking distance to Jack London Square. Okay, it's not the open ocean,
Right.
but it's ocean water there.
Right. Exactly. It's an estuary.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I thought location of the building, how it looks, would fit perfectly with my parents' needs
Right.
as part-time residents here as green card holder. So I put everything I had and bought this place. But then comes my parents' green card process. It took almost 9 months, almost a year longer than what we anticipated. And a lot of people told me, you should just rent it, you should just rent it.
Okay.
Because it's sitting empty, I've already paid for it.
Right.
I couldn't do it because the whole point of buying this place is for my parents to have a place that's entirely their own.
Okay.
And I didn't want someone else to be living there first.
Right.
So I just left it empty for all these months while they were getting their visa to come
Yes.
here. So they finally came, of course, all the furniture, all the interior, you know, stuff. I bought it for them before they arrived. So
Okay.
it was so wonderful to welcome my parents,
Yes.
who were in their early 70s at the time,
Okay.
to come to their new home where I could feel closer to them. But then I still had my independence while knowing they have all the basic life needs very conveniently located.
Right.
And then on weekends, you know, we would go there and take them out to Lake Merritt,
Right.
you know, just surrounding areas.
Wow.
and it's become really enjoyable for visitors. You know, like my other family who either from China or from rest of the US
Right.
coming to visit, and they want to go to San Francisco
Right.
from their apartment, just walk to ferry station.
Oh,
Ferry, what do you call it? Ferry station,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
In Jack London Square. And 25 minutes of lovely
Oh,
ferry
my
ride.
goodness. Right, exactly.
You are in downtown
Shoot,
San
just like
Francisco.
heaven. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And those who needs to go everywhere else, you just walk 5 minutes, you get on the BART. And so this location, the vibe of multicultural acceptance and things that you do for elderly, things you do for working professionals, and then kids. Because there's also the Oakland Museum and Fairyland and all these things just all nearby.
Wow.
So I was really glad to be able to provide that to my parents. And they used it, enjoyed it for
Right.
many, many years until they became too old to travel. And so they no longer come here, and I turned this into a rental property. And you know, I've had really good renters who enjoys the same things, I suppose, and who's kept the place really nice over the years.
That's